Before there was a territory called Minnesota, before Plymouth Plantation and Jamestown, even before Columbus discovered a so-called New World, native peoples traveled through and across what is today the city of St. Cloud. Although there were footpaths across the prairies and through the woods, the river was the main avenue of travel. Archaeologists have found evidence of early habitations in Talahi Park and also on the East Terrace just north of here along the Mississippi River. These discoveries are a window into the lives of the people who have left no written record. Because so little is known about these earlier cultures, they've been categorized into broad cultural groups. The Paleo-Indian people lived from 10,000 through 5,000 BC, and the Eastern Archaic people lived between 5,000 and 750 BC. Their lives were sustained by hunting large game and gathering food from the plant life around them. For spear points and simple tools, they chip stones and mine copper, and it is often these stones or the small leftover chips that provide evidence to archaeologists as they study the area around Talahi Woods. At a time when Euro-Americans began exploring the upper Mississippi, this central region of Minnesota was a borderland shared by two great Native American nations. The Ojibwe, or Chippewa as they were called in period accounts, inhabited northern Minnesota, beginning late in the 1600s and early 1700s. To the south lived the Dakota, and they flourished in Minnesota long before the arrival of the early explorers. Naturalist Henry Schoolcraft observed the interaction of these two tribes when he visited the area with an exploratory party in 1820. Escorted by several Ojibwe, Schoolcraft camped just north of present-day St. Cloud. Later, at the confluence of the Sauk and Mississippi rivers, Schoolcraft wrote, "This is one of the principal hunting grounds of the Sioux." In the decades before Minnesota became a territory, the long-standing relationships between the nations was disrupted when the Winnebago were moved from their traditional homes in Wisconsin and relocated in an area near present-day Long Prairie. It set the stage for the settlement of St. Cloud 20 years later, because a southern missionary to the Winnebago, David Lowry, brought his son Sylvanus to the area. Sylvanus would later help to found the city of St. Cloud. As more Euro-American settlers moved into the area in the 1850s, interaction between the cultures was not infrequent. One woman who settled at the junction of the Little Sauk and the Mississippi remembered, "The Indians would everlastingly stand and look in the windows and watch us work. We were so used to them that we never noticed them." Following the U.S.-Dakota War of 1862, even casual encounters became increasingly rare, and white attitudes toward the native peoples turned hostile. Before the conflict, Jane Grey Swisshelm, editor of the St. Cloud Democrat, encouraged people to come and settle in Minnesota, writing, "We beg to assure our eastern friends once again that there is not the slightest danger to the people of Minnesota from Indians." But after the events of August and September 1862, she bitterly wrote, "They should be got rid of in the cheapest and quickest manner." This tragic turn altered the relationships between the two cultures for decades. Talahi Woods, as this property is known, was acquired by the St. Cloud State Alumni Association in 1938 and turned over to the university in 1944. George Selke, then president of St. Cloud State, encouraged the use of the site and brought an abandoned civilian conservation corps cabin here from Shakopee. After that, it became a popular spot for students and faculty. Talahi Woods is kept undeveloped and is used today for recreation and environmental education.